Today's video is sponsored by AFK Arena, a traditional RPG game that you can play while doing exactly what the name says, being AFK. I've been extremely busy getting the new office set up, and while I'm doing all these different things, I get an itch for wanting to play a game, and that's where AFK Arena comes in. You can play the game without doing much, but it's still very in-depth for its strategic appeal. With a full RPG experience, it's a perfect blend of needing to grind without having to be there to actually grind. Plus, for all you gamers out there that enjoy Assassin's Creed, the game has this awesome crossover with the franchise. So if you ever want to know what it's like playing Ezio in an RPG, then this game is right up your alley. It's the perfect game to help bring a little bit of enjoyment into your life when you're working or having a dull day without it being too taxing on your time. So if you want to have fun while being lazy, download the game by using the link in the description. Thank you to AFK Arena for sponsoring this video, and let's get started. You know, I've been playing League of Legends for about 6 years now, and during those 6 years, I've not only played a lot of games of League, but I've made a lot of videos about the game as well. And as you can tell, I've been making less and less videos about the game. Not because I hate it, you know, it's far from it. I actually really love League of Legends and think that it's probably in the best state it's been in since I first started playing in Season 4. But that's where the problem is. I love the game, but I also hate it. Not in the sense that the design is bad, but there's so much to the game that has compounded over the years for me that it gets to a point where I just don't have an urge to play it, or at least not play it as much. So I wanted to take a minute to kind of unwind and vent about my frustration towards the game, where it's headed, and why I don't have the same urge to open up League and start playing a game. This is my love-hate relationship with League of Legends. When I first started playing, the game was fun. There were so many new things about the game that I had to learn that kept it entertaining and interesting without it getting too complicated. I always liked that there was a low skill floor but a high skill ceiling. So then there was a lot of things that you could do for a casual player. You know, I've never been a rank chaser, so this is coming from a more casual perspective. And then my channel took off and I started playing the game as a job. But even then, it was still a lot of fun. 6 years of playing the game almost on a daily basis with the same amount of joy is absolutely crazy to me. Regardless though, those are just nostalgia goggles, because there were a lot of problems with the game back then, but I didn't care because there was still so much to do and so much to learn. Fast forward to today, and there's still a lot to do, but it's different. I don't understand why champions need to be complicated for the sake of being complicated. The best champion designs, in my opinion, were the ones that were easy to learn but had depth. Jhin is probably the best example of this. He's got 4 shots and the 4th shot crits and does big damage. Different, yet easy to learn. Now you go to a new champion and they've got abilities that work with other abilities that trigger a passive, where if you buy X item, it fucking breaks the solar system. You know, the appeal of League of Legends, to me at least, was the casual play of it. So seeing the game becoming more and more complicated and being pushed towards more of a competitive field is pretty off-putting. And yeah, competitiveness in games is what keeps the game growing, but when it's all boiled down to being competitive, it loses its appeal to a casual player, especially when Riot is pushing the competitiveness of the game more and more down your throat. Because, like, I'm not here to get masters, I'm here to have a good time. I know, crazy idea. Video games should be played in order to have fun. Wow. Hey, and if you like competitiveness, you know, go for it, man. You do you. I don't care. It's just something that doesn't appeal to me. Whenever I walk into a hobby store or card shop and they're playing LCS, I get happy and giddy inside. I like that esports is becoming more and more mainstream, but when your entire content revolves around it, it makes the majority of casual play more and more hurtful. Because when you bring competitiveness to a game centered around anonymity, you get a lot more toxic people who blame everyone except for themselves. The toxicity of this game is ridiculous. The reason why I changed my in-game name from MagikarpUsedFly to AoE Salmonella was because it sucked. Every game that I played, when someone would recognize me, especially when we're playing 5-man, since that's the way I enjoy playing, so we'd go up against another 5-man's team where they all work together, the game would either end up with me being camped, the enemy team winning and saying put that in a video, which, by the way, anyone that says that, are you fucking stupid? Saying my content sucks, or simply just typing the N-word in chat. It was absolutely awful. I hated it. I can't imagine how streamers can play hours and hours of ranked to get into a game where someone runs it down mid or stream snipes them or whatever the fuck else. So then I changed my name, and when people found out about it, it was the same shit. And yeah, I could mute or just turn off all chat, but then I miss out on the people who are actually nice and supportive or say awesome things in a game. There's a fuck ton of them out there that are nice, but it gets spoiled by being bombarded with people who are just genuine assholes, but then say at the end, haha, fucking just kidding. Hey, your content sucks. Why do you even make videos? Haha, just kidding. Hey, you fucking chink or fucking beaner or insert derogatory racial slur, put this in a video. Haha, just kidding. Wow, that's really funny. And this can be echoed to a lot of gaming communities, but I feel like League of Legends is kind of festering the entire behavior, and the personalities tied around the game are pretty much just accentuating it. Like, this whole below diamond hard stuck D5 trash bullshit is fucking dumb. What kind of ego do you need to have to think that someone who's D5 is bad comparatively to a majority of players in the game? Like, you need to make yourself feel better for playing the game for hours on end to get past diamond, that you feel like in order to justify the amount of time that you played, you should talk shit on anyone else that's below you? Like, what the fuck kind of self-centered shit is that? And then people just agree with it and go along with that statement. Like, what? And then people wonder why there are players who just say, go next, because their egos are so massive that their time is more important than your own. Like, League of Legends is like that one scene in The Office where Dwight gets a promotion as a manager and Jim says, wow, wow, this is so sad. This is the smallest amount of power I've ever seen go to someone's head. And that's basically how I feel about the League of Legends community. Content creation about the game fucking blows. You know, it's cool that a game constantly gets updated, but there are so many games out there that get updated so frequently that it gets exhausting to stay on top of everything. So you want to play a league? Okay, well, that gets updated every 2 weeks and the meta can change on a dime. Also want to play TFT? Yeah, that's the same thing. We've got updates every 2 weeks. Okay, you also want to play Valorant? Yep, there's another patch to look at. All of them are really great games, but if you want to stay on top of everything, you have to constantly stay informed all the fucking time. And this is great for people who want to play free games. You know, it's a great idea to keep people interested, but with so many updates, it's incredibly hard to make creative content revolving around League of Legends. If you haven't, I suggest watching Yako's video about why he hates making League content. That video was basically the culmination of what we both think about making videos for League of Legends. And that's just more on the technical aspect of it. With the game being updated so much and with a lack of creative tools, it makes the ROI of a League video super unrewarding. And this is coming from a guy who's made hundreds of them. I mean, for fuck's sake, I poured hours and hours of sleepless nights into my champion spotlights, and half of them are out of date and don't make any sense anymore. And that feels like absolute shit. Games with friends content, fine. Those aren't hard to make and they're relatively easy. I enjoy playing games with my friends. It's a fun time. But when it comes to creative content, shit becomes irrelevant after like half a year of patches, or more than likely less. And I always try to keep it real with you guys. I tell you guys how I feel all the time. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, hey, I'm going to keep making League of Legends content, because that's not true. The amount of work that goes into creating good League content, and that's what I enjoy doing, is making good content in general, just good content as much as I can. It does not justify the rewards in my opinion, and I've done everything that I wanted to do with the game. Like, my spotlights were great, and I'm super happy that you guys enjoyed them, but making them every other week or once a month or any amount of time on a regular basis for a game that makes it harder and harder to do so just is not a good idea. I feel like creative content is being pushed away from Riot, and it makes me super sad. The only type of content about League that can really survive and be good for business are stream highlights. You know, you've got your 1000 AP one-shots, or your fucking how did they get away with this in the game bullshit that constantly gets shoved down your throats. And you can't get mad at them, because that's the type of content that Riot wants to be pushed. Yeah, there are some pretty good League content out there that is creative, if you call, kind of just playing a game and doing something different as creative, but it's nowhere near as high quality and creative as the videos that used to be made for League of Legends. Except for, someone like Exil. I think that his content's great. I love Exil. I'm talking writing out an entire script, making a story arc, creating interesting visuals. There's so much that goes into making high quality content, but when a game is constantly updated and a replay tool that only holds replays for a patch, it gets ridiculous trying to stay on top of it all while making something that's relevant enough for the game. And yeah, you can save the .lol files for League of Legends, but dude, you can't say that that's like the fix. It's fucking awful to do that. It's insane. It's been like a year and they have not fixed the replay tool at all. It's good for people that play the game and want to do a replay and then cut up and record like a highlight that they did. And again, that's just coming back towards making the game being more centered around competitiveness. I can pull up the script for a spotlight video and that alone would have 2,000 or more words, and that's just writing out the script. Not mentioning the amount of time it takes to get the footage, where each game is fucking 30 to 40 minutes long. Play the champion, learn the champion, survive through the onslaught of toxicity you have to power through in the game. Edit the footage, and to make the cinematics needed for it, it's a huge hassle that takes more than a week to accomplish just to write out the script that you think is good enough, and then edit out the video as well. By the time that the video comes out, the champion has either been changed or the game has changed. So you try to make it more broad, but then the fucking champion gets reworked. Half of my spotlights, the champions are reworked, and it's fucking insane to think that creative content for the game is a good idea when it changes all the goddamn time. I make a spotlight for Nier Automata. It's still fine to this day. I make a spotlight about I do a review about Undertale. It's still fine to this day. Almost anything else I make a review on, it's still fine up to this day. When it comes to League of Legends, it's not. Like, why go through that entire process to come out with one video where you can record yourself playing a game and upload that instead? Yeah, you know, quality over quantity, right? But there's got to be some leeway, and when that leeway gets smaller and smaller, it becomes more and more difficult to keep up with it. Like, why put all that effort into making a video about a game that doesn't want you there in the first place when you could put that effort towards other things and make just as good, if not better, content? So then we get stream highlights, we get gameplays, games with friends, very low quality type content, which then becomes high quality because there's no high quality content being made. And yeah, I could make some high quality content for League of Legends, but why would I when I could do something else and be rewarded even more? Riot Games feels a lot like they only want streamers and streamer-like content and competitive-like content. You look at the League Partner Program, most of the people in the community are streamers. The ones that made YouTube content are either just not there or they stopped making YouTube content revolving around League of Legends. And that's not me saying that I'm mad at Riot Games because they have treated me well. They've let me visit their studio. I've done some private work with them. They send me stuff. It's nice. I just wish they put more effort into creative tools to help people make videos about the game. But at this point, it's kind of meh. Oh well, go next. And it's like, even if they were to put in creative tools at this point, at least for me, it's like too late where I just wouldn't care. Like, I waited for about like a year. I think I waited like a year or two hoping that they would add in some type of creative tools to make the job easier, to make more higher quality League of Legends content, because I still love League of Legends. I like playing the game. But without a reward system for creating, you know, video content that I try to make to be without that reward, or without making it easier, or just making it more and more difficult, it's like, why? What's the point? I know it's a bit rambly, but fucking, it's something that I could talk about for hours and hours, but I don't want to because it genuinely makes me sad. Long story short, I love the game, but I hate the path that it's going down. Anyways, what do you guys think? Is the game getting better or worse for you? Do you enjoy more casual play, or do you like the competitiveness the game is going towards? Maybe you're a new player. How do you feel about the community being a new player? Leave a comment down below and let me know. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Squeeze.